Hello, heisters. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yes or no? Hello? Nej, jag tror inte det.
Nu tror jag.
Hello? Heisters, can you hear us? Perfect. All right, gang. Welcome to our Payday 3 live update stream. The purpose of this stream, this is not a Heist with Almir stream. Those are usually on Tuesdays and Thursdays. The purpose of this stream is to respond to the last days and to take a step back together as a community to review the situation. My name's Almir. You probably know who I am. I'm the brand director and head of community here at Starbreeze. With me, I have the lead producer on Payday 3, Andreas. You can say hi.
Hello, heisters.
We are here today because launch has not gone well. All right. So if we take a step back, we launched Payday 3, a game we've been working on for years, to you heisters come Thursday. For the first few hours, everything seemed to go well. You were heisting, you were having fun, you were starting to see what features you liked, what features you disliked, what you would like to see in the future. But then the servers went down. Once we got them up, then they went down again. And then we got them up, we tweeted about that, then they went down again. And obviously, this has created a terrible experience for you that we would like to apologize for on the team's behalf. It's not an easy situation. I'm seeing a comment from ArcStrike. Pre-recorded! This is absolutely not pre-recorded. This is live. Thank you very much. So we wanted to, as quickly as we could, jump on a stream with you, gang, to let you know what our thoughts are, to answer as many questions as we have time for today. And I say today because we are looking to make a reoccurring stream like this every day until we are in the clear and are seeing the game progress the way we intended. So we're going to take questions from chat. And what I'd like to ask for you is don't spam, because it will be very difficult for us to read your questions. We will try to answer as many of the questions as we possibly can, yeah? If we do not have time today to answer all of the questions, we're going to come back here tomorrow at the same time from 5 to 6 p.m. CEST, where we'll continue this, all right? And when we're not in the streaming room, which we're in right now, we're out on the floor working on improving the experience, all right? So before we go into the questions, I just want to read the statement that we as a studio did earlier today, where we talked about the server issues that you've been experiencing. So let me read that up, and after that, we'll jump straight to the questions, yeah? Including offline mode that I see a lot of people posting about. So, Payday 3 matchmaking infrastructure has not performed as tested and expected. Matchmaking software encountered an unforeseen error, which made it unable to handle the massive influx of players. The issue caused an unrecoverable situation for Starbreeze's third-party matchmaking partner. A new version of the matchmaking server software was gradually deployed across all regions, leading to improved performance. However, a software update made by the partner during late Sunday, that's last night, again introduced instability to the matchmaking infrastructure. The partner continues to work to improve and stabilize Payday 3's online system. The issue in question did not manifest during the technical betas or early access due to the specificity of rapid user influx and load balancing. Starbreeze, we, are currently evaluating all options, both short and long term. In the short term, this means our focus is to ensure that your player experience. In the long term, this means us evaluating a new partner for matchmaking services and making Payday 3 less dependent on online services. Okay? So that's what we said earlier today. So, to the best of our ability now, chat, we're gonna try to answer questions one by one and have a conversation with you. So we're gonna pick one of them and we'll start there.
I just also want to start off by, and I understand that this might not mean a lot to you guys, but we want to apologize. This launch, like Almir said, did not go as expected, and we understand that many of you are extremely frustrated and angry. We are too. We're still proud of the game. We know that many of you enjoy the game that has managed to play it, and we are doing our utmost to solve the current situation. And again, I understand that what I'm saying now is pretty vague because I'm not giving you guys a timeline, but I just wanted to get it off my chest, essentially.
Thank you, Andreas. So I see a question here from Denmark 1809, which is, what means less dependent on online services? Well, what it means is that everything is on the table for us right now. There are questions about offline mode in chat, how we are going to move forward. We cannot give right now a clear yes or no answer on this topic because it's 4 days since launch. We did not foresee the incredible difficulties you've had logging onto the games, and we will address that and answer that properly as soon as we can. But I just want to make that very clear that not all of our answers today will be a clear, yes, this is happening tomorrow at 3 o'clock, then that goes live, or yes, we will absolutely fix that right now. We are doing our best now to handle all of the existing questions and reply to you all in the best way we can. So, yeah, go ahead.
Also, I want to say that we're constantly monitoring what you guys want to see. Obviously, offline mode is one of those things, but we're also seeing a lot of requests from the game itself, quality of life updates and so on. So I just wanted to mention that we are seeing that, we are evaluating it, but I also want to say that, like Almir said, like we can't commit to things in this live stream here because everything that we want to do means people working on it, right? And evaluating how much time it takes to actually do something and so on. But whatever you guys want to see, we're taking that with us and we're looking into it. But again, that does not mean a commitment as of today. Our hope is when we get further into the week and we have more live streams, we're hoping that we can give you more details on things that we want to pursue, meaning requests that have been going through the community channels.
Thank you, Andreas. So I have a comment regarding why the game is always online for now. When looking at what worked and didn't with Payday 2, we wanted to find a way to avoid the negative aspects of Payday 2, among those rampant cheating and unreliable hosting. In addition, we want to ensure we kept our commitments to the console community and maintained one Payday community across all platforms. To deliver on that and other possible additions such as cross-progression, leaderboards, and more, we needed to ensure that every player is on the same version of the game with stable hosting across all platforms. And neutral hosting outside of the platforms would solve that. Rest assured that everyone who can do anything to remedy the problems is working on it. We will do our best to answer the other questions and suggestions we've seen so far, but with the team focused on solving our biggest problem, these other matters will most likely have to wait. So right now, what that means is that the servers are still not stable. All right? We are working on making sure that they are for now. We are evaluating every other potential way forward, and we're looking to make your experience as good as it possibly can be as soon as we can.
I'm seeing a lot of questions about the progression in Payday 3 and if we are changing that. We don't have any plans of today to change how the progression works. However, we are seeing requests and concerns around how the challenges are communicated to players. So something that we are evaluating right now is how can we make that more intuitive and how can we front load that information to players. So a couple of examples of this could be categorizing challenges more so you don't have to look for them as you do today, and also adding recommended challenges. So you get recommendations based on how you are progressing and what heist you want to jump into and so on.
I'm seeing a lot of quality of, you have to understand this chat, it's not super easy to read through the questions, because as soon as I start trying to read one question, the chat just goes up super quick because there's a ton of them. But I'm seeing questions regarding the quality of life experience, for example, regarding the user interface. That is also a topic that we're looking to address, right?
Yeah, and for the UI UX in the game, there's a lot of small things that we want to solve. It's a matter of prioritization right now. What I can go through is I have a list in front of me of things that we are currently evaluating. Like, I don't have a time frame for them right now because obviously we're spending a lot of time trying to solve the matchmaking issues that we're having. But some of the things that we are evaluating for future patches is having a chat in lobby, having an unready button in lobby, being able to mute heist briefs, rename your loadouts, improvements to challenges and the communication around that, mouse and keyboard support on console, quick play. Those are essentially, that's a compilation of some of the things that we are evaluating at the moment.
Thank you, Andreas. Crispy Matthew on YouTube says, will there be a safe house like in Payday 2? There is currently no safe house in Payday 3. When we launched Payday 2, the safe house feature was not on par with what we'd liked at the time, and we received a lot of critique from the community at the time for that as well. A few years later, we added a new safe house that was much more appreciated, and I definitely see in the post-launch an opportunity for us to create a safe house. When that is exactly is yet to be confirmed. If that will be an interesting feature or not, that's up to us as a development team to think about properly and see how it aligns best with the Payday 3 experience. I'm still seeing a lot of comments regarding offline mode. So we have not yet confirmed an offline mode. But what we can say right now, and the reason I wanted to read up the statement our company did earlier today, is that we're evaluating every possibility going forward on how we can provide the best experience for you all. All right? That's as clear as we can be on that topic for now. Going through chat here to the best of my ability. Which is not super easy. Are there, hold on, I need to scroll down, I think. Here's one. Will controllers get more sensitivity options, such as dead zone adjustments?
So we have a list of a bunch of improvements that we want to do to controllers. I cannot confirm in this meeting exactly what those are gonna be, but it's a part of the things that we are evaluating. What I can confirm for PlayStation 5 players is that for the upcoming patch that you're getting, aim assist has been fixed.
Thanks, Andreas. I see also Humble saying, can we have Jacket back? Jacket has not been confirmed for Payday 3 as of now. He is unaccounted for. I see Lethal Skills saying, fix your freaking game. So the team, everyone except me and Andreas, because we're here talking to you now, are working around the clock together with our third party we mentioned earlier to make sure that the game works as intended for you all. Okay, we take this very seriously, and we're doing our best in order to make sure you guys get the experience you paid for, and so that you can play the game properly. Mario Fluffy says, what is going to be done to make up for the negative review and people who left? Even if you bring servers back at this point, those negative reviews and bad memories are gonna stay. That's a great question. I think the important thing to realize is we did not expect for the launch to go this way. We are very apologetic regarding that. We apologize. That was not our intent. However, this is not the end. This is the beginning. We launched the game just a few days ago. We're looking to address all of the issues that are being talked about within the community. But we can only do so much given the fact that we're 4 days from launch. We're working on all the issues, and I think as soon as we come past this part and the game works as intended for you, and you can play the game and start focusing on feedbacking the game rather than saying the servers aren't working, what the frick, then we can, then I think we'll be a stronger community for it. We've had situations in the past within PAYDAY where we as developers have not made the right calls. We've come through those with you as a community, and we definitely look to do the same this time.
I'm also seeing questions around when the next updates are going live. So we have a patch coming out on October 5th that is solving a bunch of bugs, and we're going to share the patch notes for that as we get closer. Then we have another patch planned for later in October, which obviously is going to solve bugs as well, but it's also going to be a bigger focus on quality of life updates. Something that I can share for the patch that is coming out later in October as well, and I understand that what everybody wants now is just being able to play the game, right? But something that I can share that we are dropping for free in that update is a new skill line that is called Transporter. And the reason we're dropping that as well is that it has been a skill line that has been requested in the PAYDAY community for a very long time. So I'm not going to spoil every single skill, but I can spoil one. But first I would like you guys to guess what that could be. So the name of the skill line is Transporter. What is the skill that I'm about to spoil? There you go. 2 bags. That's right. Being able to carry 2 bags.
So there are essentially 2 things we're doing right now. One is the team focusing on establishing server stability, and the other is obviously to continue working on the game, right? We have a post-launch campaign that we have started to prepare for you all, featuring new characters, new heists, new quality of life features, and much more. We're continuing to work on that as well. But given that we did not expect these technical issues, we have to reprioritize and focus on making sure that the servers are stable, right? I saw a question regarding text or voice chat in the pre-game lobby, and I can say that yes, we are considering this feature. As of now, we do not have a time frame of when they can be added, but we're considering it, just so you know. Let's see if we can... Riceru says, are you going to bring back Giancarlo Esposito as a voice actor for the game? If you know Payday 2 storyline, no. Then we are not. The Conman19 asks, when is the first DLC going to be teased? I think that's a great question, but not something that we can answer right now. Will it be possible to disarm all die packs in solo? I think that is feedback we've seen, but that we have that we're still evaluating exactly how that would affect the game experience. But I hear all the solo heisters out there who don't want to fail even one die pack. Let's see. I'm reading through things. Will rewards from heists be rebalanced? Looking primarily at Dirty Eyes, says Ervinox. So I think when it comes to rewards from any heist you play in the game, payouts, etc., those are things that the team is looking into in the post-launch and will possibly nerf certain heists, buff other heists, all depending on what we agree on. But it is still early days. Like, we launched the game Thursday. It is Monday today. And I think we need more time to revise that before we do any changes to any of the heist payouts. Are there any chances that Houston will come back as a playable character, says Dragonic? Maybe. I think it depends where Horton is, aka Houston. So I see another question here from Luca1501 regarding mouse and keyboard on Xbox. And what we can say regarding keyboard and mouse on console is the use of keyboard and mouse on consoles is not currently supported, either on Xbox or PlayStation. We've seen your suggestions and are looking to add support going forward. Wandoman says, it's been a tough couple of days, but much love to you guys. I know how tough it can be with the servers. Thank you, Wandoman. Really appreciate it. And I think the reason Andreas and I sit here in front of you all today is because we really want to show you that we care, that we are passionate about this game. We are sad that the game launch did not go as we wanted it to. We wanted you heisters to be in the game, heisting with each other, giving us feedback on the game experience, rather than sitting here telling us that the servers aren't working as they should.
There's a bunch of questions about crew AI and adding more features to them and the possibilities to customize them and so on. We've seen a lot of that, and it's one of those features where we will continue to monitor and see what you guys want to see to add more value to the crew AI. So it's not on top of our priority right now, but it's definitely one of the options that we're looking into for the future, adding more features to them and creating more depth around crew AI.
Thanks, Andreas. I see a question here from Unbids and Piper6 saying, hello, will we have perks and old songs in the future? So I think what you mean by old songs is that in Payday 2, you are able to have a jukebox feature where you can add and mix whatever song for a heist you'd like. That was a post-launch feature that we added for Payday 2. That is something we're evaluating for Payday 3. Nothing we have confirmed so far. Perks references the perk system in Payday 2. And in Payday 3, we have a different skill system featuring skill lines and skills. We will be updating the skill line system with additional skills, like the one Andreas spoiled earlier, the transporter skill. But creating exactly perks, we haven't confirmed for Payday 3. Koalak Twitch says, can we play today? Obviously, we are in the streaming room with you heisters right now, so we're unable to go out and see how the server stability is. But we hope you will be able to play properly today. We will keep letting you know what the status is on the servers in our social media channels. Ja. Will pre-planning ever come back in Payday 3? So pre-planning is a feature that exists in Payday 2 that we added as part of the Big Bank update with Giancarlo Esposito. We haven't confirmed any pre-planning feature for Payday 3 as of now, but it's also a feature request that we're evaluating. Of course, I think like the important thing here as well today is that Andreas and I shouldn't say things that we haven't agreed on internally, right? We have a large development team that together make these features, that together make these decisions, what we should do, what we shouldn't do, what we can add, what we can't add, etc. I'm seeing a question here from Pyro Mancini. When will the servers be fixed? That's something we do not know right now. We are working on improving the stability. As soon as we are comfortable saying that they are fixed, we'll let you know. But I think given the past few days' experiences you heisters have had, I think it's too early to say something as permanent as that. Scrolling through here to see if I can find some more questions. Hold on. heisters. I'm trying to find questions to answer here. Minimikrimi says, "Hi, I was wondering if in the future heists could there be more consideration in terms of solo play? I understand it's a co-op focused heisting game, but it is annoying as a solo player when you are not able to do certain things, for example die packs in No Rest for the Wicked. And something I loved in Payday 2, for example, is the Shadow Raid Vault, where yes, it's easier doing co-op, but the option is still there for solo players, just more challenging, as it should be." I think that's great feedback and something we'll definitely have to keep in mind as we introduce more heists. Like I said, we haven't confirmed any change to the No Rest for the Wicked heist as of now, but obviously the team are aware of your feedback and are evaluating what we can do going forward. Let's see, continuing to find questions here. Stealth feels unsatisfying, as if you have always done it, you will not get any XP, so it just feels like a waste on time. Any changes incoming for us stealthy boys? That's also a part that we will need to reflect on, like how we can make sure that stealth heisters feel like they are rewarded in a good way. Almir asks, will there be free heists and weapons, especially older ones from Payday the Heist or Payday 2? We have said that we will add free heists and additional free content to the game. We have not confirmed any classical heist or anything from Payday the Heist or Payday 2 for Payday 3 as of now.
I've seen a bunch of people writing about a bug on Rock the Cradle where the VIP card doesn't exist if you fail and restart the level. I believe this has been fixed for the upcoming patch.
All right, thank you, Andreas. Let's see. Chat is moving incredibly fast. Sorry for me taking some time here to answer stuff.
Will aiming on console be improved? This was a question that came up earlier as well. I can confirm that in the next update, aim assist should work as intended on PS5. We're also evaluating a bunch of different improvements and functionalities for controllers for future updates. It's something that we're going to do. I just can't confirm a timeline right now.
Xiniox says, are you aware of the bug with weapon XP causing weapon levels to be locked, making it unable to reach the final weapon level? We're taking in a continuous stream of feedback and reports from the community and are going through it all internally. Obviously, we have patches in the works where we're looking to address issues. I think given the fact that we are having these server challenges that we are right now, part of the team are focused on resolving that, while part of the team are focused on fixing other existing issues within the game. So thank you for sharing that.
I've heard that the update won't come out before October 5th because Sony needs to authenticate the update for PlayStation. Is this true, and will it mean that all updates in the future will be delayed because of Sony? Like, they're not being delayed per se, but ensuring console parity means that will have to go through submissions with first party. So obviously, if the game was PC only, we would be able to get some patches out quicker. But since we are supporting the three platforms right now, yeah, it does take some extra time. But then at least, I mean, that's a part of the strategy that we have. We want to ensure that console players can experience the same game as PC players. So that's how it's going to look for the future.
So, yeah. So I see an evil little thing here on YouTube asking, I want to stay as a party after the heist is over. Why can't we do that in Payday 3? I think this is a quality of life feature, right?
Yeah, so how it works right now is you can stay as a party for parties that you have been invited to or players that you have invited. The parties that doesn't stay right now is if you're playing with randoms. this is one of the quality of life updates that we have talked about internally. But again, I can't give a time frame or commit to it yet, given the amount of things that we are working on right now. But we hear you, absolutely.
Thank you, Andreas. Valhall Jarl says, I just want to say thank you both for coming out and doing this Q&A. You're doing an amazing job on handling everything very well. Thank you so much for saying that. And I think this is just the first Q&A that we're looking to do, Heisters. We will be back here tomorrow at the same time, going through additional things with you. We'll keep you posted on the progress. We want to do this in order to be as transparent as possible with you all, and to face you in the community and not let you discuss aimlessly because we haven't said anything, right? This is an opportunity for you and us to talk to each other and ensure that we are aligned on the way going forward, because we will overcome the situation. It is super unfortunate that we've come to this, where there is so much server instability that we have seen people being angry, people refunding, people being unable to focus on the game that they'd like to play, and instead having to focus on trying to log on and get into a game.
I see a question as well about, there's a bunch of questions about Payday 1 and Payday 2 maps, if they're returning to Payday 3. We haven't confirmed anything yet, but we absolutely see a big opportunity in having that sort of nostalgia trip, and having old maps reimagined with a bigger visual upgrade for Payday 3. But again, we haven't confirmed anything, but absolutely there is an opportunity to go that path.
Corgis says, when is the game going to work? So the servers, as soon as they are stable, will let the community know that. We have assumed that when we've fixed them during the weekend, they would remain stable. That was not the case. And it's super unfortunate that you have been playing and then being disconnected as a consequence of the servers going down. The game is going to work as intended, as soon as physically possible. Like I said, the team is working around the clock to make sure that we get to where we want to be, where you heisters can continue to play the game as intended.
For those who came in later, I still see a lot of questions about having a chat in the lobby. We haven't confirmed anything here, but what I can say is this is a high priority for us from a quality of life perspective.
Dory Ben David says, will we get the ability to skip the pre-heist cutscenes? When restarting, it can be really repetitive and annoying to watch it again and again. Much love. Thank you for your question. I think that is a typical quality of life feature that we could look into addressing. We haven't announced a change like that as of now, but that is one of the many topics that we are looking into in the post-launch. I'm seeing Pengos asking, Payday 3 merch. We would love some Payday 3 merch, but we have no updates on that for now. Fosty says, how are you all sat here answering questions like the game's working? I think the purpose of this Q&A is to establish that the game is not, the servers are currently not being as stable as we want them to be. Hence, the gameplay experience is not working as intended. The purpose of us sitting here is to address that, to talk to you directly, to answer questions like yours, Fosty, and to keep an open communication line between you in the community and us developers, making sure that we are as transparent as we possibly can be with you all. Dogu says, please say you're adding more weapons. I mean, in the post-launch, we're gonna add more weapons, but we haven't confirmed exactly what weapons yet, but we for sure will add more weapons, masks, outfits, and all whatnot.
I'm seeing a lot of questions again about challenges and progression, and concerns around that. I mentioned earlier in the stream that we are looking into ways to improve the presentation and communication around challenges. We believe that one of the issues is that it's very hard to navigate through it and understand what you're supposed to do. So that is something that we are tackling. Exactly what that means is something that we're gonna talk about more in the near future.
I'm seeing a question here from White Ent, who's saying, are you going to update the user experience with the UI, the user interface, that is? It feels weird that I can't use right-click when I want to, for example, invite a friend of mine on PC. I think that's fair feedback. The user interface, the entire game experience is something that we're looking to update as we go along in the post-launch campaign. Obviously, we're just 4 days away from launch, and we have more very pressing matters with the server stability not being where we want it to be. So we will look to address that as quickly as possible. But then, of course, there are a ton of quality of life improvements that we can see being made to Payday 3 during its full life cycle, of course. Let me just scroll down. There's so many questions coming up. We'll try to find some more for us to answer. Hold on, gang. Mod support. I'm seeing a question here regarding mods. So, will there be any official modding in Payday 3? No official modding support has been announced so far for Payday 3. We are aware that our modding community is too committed to be stopped by that mere fact, however, and we're working on getting a modding policy written up. Any plans for Halloween? Asks Lokmana. Maybe is our question to that. We don't want to spoil anything if we now have anything planned.
Mute contractor feature when? This is also a part of the list of things that we want to address in a future patch. We understand that frustration. Absolutely.
The Getsu says, I know it's only the beginning for Payday 3, but could you give us a taste for what we are going to do in upcoming heists, if you have something to share with us, of course? I think we don't want to spoil anything more than we've already said. Andreas shared the transporter skill line. We have announced the year 1 launch plan earlier. There is an image floating about online where you can see the names of the upcoming updates that we're looking to add. Scotty G 55th says, when are you going to fix matchmaking errors? So that is one of the things we're looking into right now, both our own development team as well as our third-party partner who are handling the matchmaking and the servers. We are looking into that, Scotty, and will resolve those issues as soon as humanely possible. Can you be more clear about offline mode, asks Elide Jesus 608. Unfortunately, right now we cannot be more clear. What we can say is what we did in the earlier company statement we did today. Every option for us is on the table. We are currently evaluating the best way forward for Payday 3. Launch did obviously not go as intended. The servers have not been holding up as we intended. For that, we've apologized. And we now need to evaluate every possibility we have in front of us and see what the best way forward is for the game experience, but also, of course, for you, the players out there.
I see there's people asking about heisters from Payday 2, if they're making a return in Payday 3. What I can confirm today is, yes, we're going to release new heisters in Payday 3. and I think we need to find a balance of having old ones return and introducing new ones. But at this stage, we're not ready to confirm who's coming next and so on. But that is definitely on the table, yes.
I'm seeing a question here from Lexidol on Twitch saying, can we please see more communication for console players? Seeing as they cannot see PC chat, it's otherwise impossible to actually communicate with them. For example, being able to ping objectives to highlight them or request specific heister to look at something. So this ties to a question. The question: will the game have in-game chat, text chat, or VoIP on consoles? We're looking into adding either or both of these features. Right now, the team is fully focused on ensuring stable matchmaking as our number one priority. After we're comfortable with where matchmaking is, we'll evaluate community requested features like these. Checking for more questions here. Let's see. Spicy Giblet says, will the UI be adjusted? The mission select isn't amazing. We take that feedback to heart. I think the developing team will add a lot of quality of life improvements. Exactly how we're going to address the UI will be a later conversation, because we released the game 4 days ago. It's very early for us to see exactly what improvements we're looking to make first and what we'll do later, and so on and so forth. I'm going through chat. Snownin12 asks, will new heisters be added with each new heist? How often can we expect new heisters? We don't have a set timing yet for this. Obviously, we have just started our post-launch development cycle, but rest assured we will be adding as much content we can, as quickly as we can. I think it's important for us, and we know this from working with PAYDAY 2 over the past 10 years, to keep you heisters interested through additional heists, heisters, quality of life features, and so on and so forth.
Any collabs planned out in the future? We haven't confirmed anything yet. What I can say, though, is we do see that as a big opportunity and a big part of the franchise as well. The difference right now in terms of direction for us is, with PAYDAY 2, we experimented a lot. Like, PAYDAY 2 was almost the teenage years of PAYDAY, while PAYDAY 3 is aimed to be more mature and have a more mature tone in the game. So if we're doing collabs, we want to make sure that it fits the universe, fits the narrative, and doesn't conflict with the tone of the game, essentially.
I'm seeing Stealth Master Flex here saying, keep working hard, Starbreeze, a little setback, but still an amazing game. Thank you. And I think that's something that has been very important for us as developers to see, that when the game has been working properly for you heisters, many of you have shown that you are enjoying the experience, that you love doing heists in PAYDAY 3, and we definitely need and want to hear that too, along with everything else we are seeing in chat today and online in our discussion forums, whether it's on Reddit or on Twitter or elsewhere. Thank you for that. I'm seeing a question here from Thide YT saying, are there plans for an offline mode? We have not announced an offline mode as of now. What we've said earlier in this conversation is that given the issues we've had at launch with the server instability, we're currently revising our strategy going forward. everything is up on the table, but it is nothing you do with the click of a button, unfortunately. All of this will take time for us to address and look at properly, but rest assured we will keep you informed to the best of our ability. Going through chat. Where can I write feedback? So you can share feedback with us on the Steam forums, for example, or you can share feedback using the upvote page that we have. It's called Feature Upvote. You can access it through the PAYDAY website. Yeah. So if you go there and check out the Feature Upvote page, you will be able to add your feedback there.
Is it possible to implement, can you go up? Is it possible to implement a stealth or loud option in the matchmaking setup? It's one of the things that we are going to evaluate. We completely understand the need for this. It is tied to networking, and like Almir mentioned, that capacity right now goes into solving the matchmaking issues that we're having. But as soon as we have that sorted out, this is something that we're going to evaluate as well. I think a feature like this is a big part of smoothing out the matchmaking experience and making sure that you can play with the people that you want to play with and so
on. Zomoy says, "Hey Almir, will there be plans of any upcoming newer or returning crossover characters joining the PAYDAY gang?" So obviously PAYDAY 2 features over 30 collaborations we've done the past 10 years. Some of them very much liked by the community, including Jacket. Some of them maybe not as liked. And I think what's important for us in the here and now is to ensure server stability for you all. Later, of course, we definitely want to see what kind of collabs do we want to do, and who knows, maybe the Chicken Man will make a return. He is currently unaccounted for. But that is usually not only up to us, that is also up to the partner in that case, who we would need to do that with. Ghostface MP4 says, "Please add lasers." I think that is a typical quality of life feature. That is something that we could see in the post-launch. Right now, it's too early to say when and if that will happen exactly. But for PAYDAY 2, that was added in the post-launch.
in the closed beta, mouse and keyboard worked on Xbox. Why? So that was sort of functional at one point, but we did find way too many bugs associated with mouse and keyboard on consoles. So we decided to remove that for launch, which also means that it's not entirely a new feature. It means that we have a couple of issues that we need to sort out tied to it. So we are looking into addressing that and making sure that console players can play with mouse and keyboard.
I'm seeing a question here from Nivels. What quality of life changes are you guys working on right now? And can we see the high demanding quality of life changes, bug fixes, challenge filtering, unready button, etc. soon? So Andreas read up a few earlier. Maybe you should go through them again.
I can read up a list of a couple of things that we are currently evaluating. And again, I want to clarify that these are not commitments yet, as we are dedicated to fixing the current matchmaking issues that you're having, but we still want to be transparent and make sure that you guys see that we are monitoring the requests that you have. So the list that I went through earlier is chat in lobby, unready button in lobby, mute heist briefing, rename loadout, improvements on presentation and communication around challenges, mouse and keyboard on console, and quick play.
All right, thank you, Andreas. Let's see here. Will secondaries receive some changes? Oh, the question disappeared because of chat. But I think that is the typical quality of life improvements that we will be looking at in the post-launch, reviewing weapon damages for all the weapons, whether it is a primary gun or a secondary gun. Those are the kinds of things we're going to look at in the post-launch, for sure. same goes. I mean, it's on the same topic here from FMiss on YouTube saying, question: weapons do too little damage. Will they be buffed? That's the type of feedback the design team are going through. Reading up on what the community thinks regarding each weapon, adjusting them as pending that feedback, but also where the design team are looking to take the game going forward. With Payday being a live service game, we will most likely be buffing and nerfing things as we go along. Ultimately, what it comes down to is making sure you heisters have the best experience possible. Let's see. Will there be an option to kick players from a lobby heist? Says BJ 2013. That is also a quality of life feature that we are evaluating. Obviously, you can do that in Payday 2. That is something that we will look into for Payday 3, and we will get back to you when we know more on the topic. We had this conversation for Payday 2 as well. Can we get numbers for weapon stats, number for damaging enemies, etc.? That is also feedback we're taking in right now that the team is evaluating. We had a similar scenario with Payday 2 where there were bars instead of numbers, and then we changed that. We will see what we do in Payday 3 as we go forward. Hatsy says, hi Almir, will we ever be able to jump into the escape van at the end of a heist? You want to take that one?
I can't confirm right now. We've had we had it at some point in the game, and it caused a lot of issues. It's one of the things that we'll have to look into and understand. Like, it sounds like I understand it sounds like a very easy thing to fix. Just remove the fucking collision. But we did see a lot of issues with it, so it's something that we'll have to look into just to understand the amount of things that comes with. Potentially, but can't confirm as of now.
Thanks, Andreas. Ransan is saying, have they addressed the server instability yet? Yes, we've addressed that. We have not resolved it. This conversation today, and our hour is almost up for today. This conversation today was the first out of many where we are looking to jump online here with you heisters, to talk with you, answer your questions regarding these topics, and give you an update to the best of our abilities on where the game is currently and where we're going in the near future. We are hard at work, like it's me and Andreas here in the streaming room right now talking to you all, but the rest of the devs are out there working hard, making sure that the game functions the way you expect it to.
I'm seeing a lot of comments around the UI, both from a communication and sort of a presentation perspective. I can't comment on exactly what we're aiming to fix. What I can say is that we share the same concerns internally. We do believe that there can be a lot of improvements, making the UI UX more intuitive. There's a lot of small issues that we want to address. Also, like, we agree from a presentation perspective that there are things that we can improve there as well to, capture more of the atmosphere of Payday into the menus and so on. But there's a lot of work tied to this, and I think there's a lot of things here that we can address. So it's a matter of choosing what to prioritize first. And like I said, and I still see a lot of comments about that, challenges. That is on top of the priority for UI UX, making sure that we improve both communication and presentation for challenges.
Thanks, Andreas. So I'm seeing Liz Roy saying, I love the game so far, keep it up, guys. Thank you, Liz Roy. And I think a lot more heisters do, but the issue is that when trying to play, many have experienced matchmaking issues, which obviously allows them not to play the game as intended. So I definitely understand all of the frustration and anger in chat on that topic. Um, all right. We will be back here tomorrow with another chat like this. Hopefully, we'll have additional news then regarding server stability. Either way, we will pop on here chat to let you know how things are going and to continue answer questions. The purpose of this stream was to for myself and Andreas to show our faces here, to let you know that we have not given up on Payday 3 yet. We are continuously working on this game. We have worked on this game for years, making sure to release it last Thursday. Launch did not go like we intended. We have apologized for that. We want it to work for you all. We want you to be robbing banks and getting paid. And we look forward to resolving these issues and letting you know as soon as we can. We will be back in this forum tomorrow at the same time, and hopefully we have news to share then. In the meantime, Andreas and I will go back to the dev team and continue working on the issues. All right?
Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your patience. And like I said at the beginning of the stream, we really understand your frustration. We are frustrated too. We're going to go back to the team now and continue to do our utmost to solve the current issues. So see you later, and thank you.
Thank you, heisters. We will see you back here tomorrow, same time. Looking forward to talking to you all then. Take care.